I was fortunate enough to get invited by Ubisoft to check out the closed door event for Assassin's Creed Mirage, where they showed me a bunch of stuff related to the game. There were so much things that I just cannot wait to share with you guys. And in today's video, I am going to be giving you guys all the information that you need to know about Assassin's Creed Mirage's graphics and how the fidelity of this game looks and how the game is going to be playing. Is it 60 FPS, 4K resolution, RTX or not? All of these informations we're going to take a look at in this video. So before we get into any further information, a big shout out to Ubisoft for actually inviting me over to watch this closed door event and to take a look at Assassin's Creed Mirage and all the future Assassin's Creed games. That I have so much information that I just cannot wait to share with you guys. Unfortunately, it seems like Ubisoft did not share any gameplay publicly during Ubisoft Forward. I was hoping that they would show some gameplays to the public eyes as well, but it seems like that's not the case here. But worry not, lads, because I always bring you guys with all the latest information that you guys need, and you guys need to know about everything that is upcoming for Assassin's Creed and all the upcoming open world games in general. So starting off with the graphics and how does the game look, and I know for a fact that a lot of people have been asking, does this game look similar to Assassin's Creed Valhalla? Because since the game was developed as a DLC content in the early stages, but then Ubisoft decided to then make this a standalone game by creating a game of its own, naming it completely different as Mirage. Now, of course, that is indeed true. The rumor was indeed true. Ubisoft did a focus on making this game as a DLC content, but then the vision for the whole game completely changed. Ubisoft changed that one, and this is not some kind of a small game. It's definitely not very small. It's of course going to be a medium-sized Assassin's Creed game, so you really don't have to worry about this game being super small or whatever. It's good enough, all right? It's good enough. And obviously, since this game was originally developed as a DLC content for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you can kind of see the same engine performance, and you can basically see how the graphics fidelity and stuff looks very similar to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. But this does not mean that the game is definitely going to be looking exactly as how Assassin's Creed Valhalla looked. And the one big reason that Ubisoft actually shared in that event is that the game is of course not going to look identical to Valhalla or any other Assassin's Creed games, and this is especially because of the setting of the game. Now, if you take a look at Assassin's Creed Origins, the graphics for Origins is just mind-boggling. It's just stunning to watch if you're playing this on the 4K resolution TV, if you have a big screen and you're playing Origins, into the beauty of Egypt and the graphics and whatever. And when you take a look at Assassin's Creed Valhalla, some people might argue that they might like Origins graphics more than Valhalla, and that does not mean that Origins has better graphics. This basically means that the setting of Origin is more of a compelling setting, which kind of makes the setting look much more beautiful, whereas when you compare that with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, it's more of an England, it's the Viking age, and that's the reason why you have like a really dark themed map and the locations and all this stuff with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So for some people who might not have enjoyed the graphics of Valhalla, you are absolutely going to have a great time with Assassin's Creed Mirage, especially due to the setting. The game is very bright, it's colorful, it's vibrant, so everything is going to look really fantastic in this game. So you don't really have to worry about how good or how bad this game is going to look. Is it going to look next gen or not? Because yes, of course, it does look like a next gen game which is made in 2022, and the graphics and all the stuff is pretty decent enough. I mean, comparable to Valhalla, but then with a totally different setting, so it's of course going to look slightly different from the previous title. Now, of course, Ubisoft did confirm that they have indeed upgraded the engine that they used for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, so they're not using the same asset and everything like that. They recreated the whole thing, like the game, everything is completely recreated. So the engine that was used for Valhalla is now the upgraded version for Assassin's Creed Mirage, especially since the entire gameplay mechanics and the animations and everything is completely different this time. So the gameplay and the visuals is not going to look the same, if that is what you guys are wondering. And apart from this, I know that since we have the next generation of consoles, does this mean that we're going to have any ray tracing enabled? Now, of course, Assassin's Creed Valhalla did enable 4K at 60 frames per second, but the question remains, since Valhalla was not a ray tracing enhanced game, so does this mean that Assassin's Creed Mirage is going to have ray tracing or not? Now, this was a question that unfortunately was not getting the answers to from Ubisoft, but I will make sure to find this out. Now, of course, when it comes to ray tracing, tracing, if that is something the next gen console users are actually expecting for, I would honestly say just keep your expectations low, because since the game was originally designed as an Assassin's Creed DLC, but then the vision of the game completely changed, it became larger, and they decided to make this a standalone game, which means that we might not be getting ray tracing since the same engine is being used, so the lighting and stuff could be the same, literally. So if ray tracing is something we are looking forward to, then I think little hopes would be better than having too much hopes on this one. But nonetheless, with or without ray tracing, Assassin's Creed Valhalla did look absolutely stunning. And for any of you guys who basically did not like the setting of Valhalla, then I think you guys might enjoy the Baghdad setting, especially since we have a lot of vibrant colors, browns, and a lot of bright colors in here. So this might of course be of a great help here. So on the screen here, you guys can basically check out the in-game gameplay screenshots. Now of course, judging the game too early with the gameplay screenshots is something that we definitely should not be doing, especially since this game is very early in its development stages. Now you can actually take a look at this. It does look very similar to what Assassin's Creed Valhalla does look like. The environment and all the stuff, the mountains, the rocks, everything looks very similar. We also have a camel mount in which you can see Basim mounted on it. So there are some things that they did kind of get inspired from Assassin's Creed Origins and Assassin's Creed Valhalla's engine. So basically all of these different Assassin's Creed games are like mixed into one. So that is what the screenshot is for. Now this is basically the graphics of the game, and if you move on to the next screenshot, you can take a look at what Baghdad is going to be looking like inside the game. Now of course, keep this in mind now, since the entire game is in early stages, so some of the images that you might see might look kind of like clay textured. So that is just because the game is very early in stage. Now we still have a lot of time to go, a lot of months to go before the game finally gets fully polished. So this is basically what we're going to be getting as a final product. And I've got to say though, Baghdad looks absolutely stunning, especially with the sun setting down and the whole vibrant place. It just looks very colorful. I think it kind of like sets the phase for a perfect Assassin's Creed title, going back to the roots itself. Now in another screenshot here, we actually get to take a look at Basim from this close. Now of course, some of the textures that he has in his hands does look kind of clayish, and that's also because of the early stages of the game. But when you take a look at the facial structure and the facial design, it looks very realistic compared to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And since this game is also in its early stages, I think the final product is going to give us a very decent and more of a realistic character faces and stuff, which is something I am super excited and just cannot wait to see what Ubisoft has in store for us with this one. Now moving on with the next one, we also have another screenshot of Basim fighting two different enemies here all alone by himself, and we can actually take a look at the graphics and it looks absolutely stunning. So the outfit that you're seeing Basim wearing here is basically the Master Assassin outfit, and of course I'm sure that Ubisoft is going to be adding in a bunch of different outfits as well. So it's not just going to be like 3 outfits and that's pretty much it. There is going to be more outfits in this game, so that much is something that I'm confirmed about. And here comes the iconic assassin outfit, and this is the outfit that Basim wears when he's being trained under Roshan, who is his mentor. And the lightings and graphics, it does kind of look like the game might be having some kind of ray tracing technology in. So this is something that could end up being inside the game. So ray tracing could be, or maybe it's not there in the game, so just don't have too much hopes on. And we have another screenshot here where Basim is interacting with, and the eagle is something that we already spoke about on my previous videos on all the abilities that this eagle has. If you haven't seen that video, make sure to go ahead and check the previous video out. There is a lot of stuff that is related to parkour system and also the combat and stealth system, gameplay, and all the stuff. And on the next concept art here, we actually get to take a look at Basim entering the market city, the busy market city in which we actually got to see in the trailer. And here you can see how dense the crowd is, and Ubisoft has said that there is going to be a lot of dense characters, like the entire city is going to be filled with a ton of NPCs, which means that it's going to take a lot of processing powers, and the next gen consoles are going to be able to load in more NPCs inside the game. So it's going to give us more of a live and realistic feeling when you're living at the moment around the environment. And next up, we also have another screenshot here where you can see a character sitting on a camel. Now, because the man's outfit definitely does not seem like Basim, but we never know. Maybe there are different casual outfits in the game as well. And this is once again another screenshot that Ubisoft recently just shared. Moving on to the next screenshot here, we can actually see the in-game shot of Basim is standing on the synchronization point. And this is basically how synchronization is going to look like inside the game. And looking from the lighting of the sun and all the stuff, I kind of think that ray tracing could indeed be possible in this game. If Ubisoft does have any intentions of adding that into the game, then of course I think this is indeed possible. So one thing that I want to know from you guys is on what do you guys think? What kind of graphics settings are you guys expecting for Assassin's Creed Mirage? Do you think it's going to be similar to Assassin's Creed Valhalla? And which platform are you guys going to be playing Assassin's Creed Mirage on? Will you be playing on the PS5 or the Xbox Series X or the PC version or the old generation consoles? So let me know in the comments down below which is your preferred platform. I would love to see which platform has the most amount of players. So with that being said, lads, I'm going to be sharing a bunch of more information that is related to the map size and also Assassin's Creed Japan, the feudal Japan setting, codenamed Assassin's Creed Red, is also something that I also got to take a look at, including Hexe, which is this old dark ages of German witchcrafting assassin kind of a game. So that is something I have a lot of information, which is of course something I will be sharing in my upcoming videos, so keep an eye out for that one as well. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, because of course I'm going to be uploading videos every single day, so you guys definitely don't want to be missing out on all of my videos. So make sure you guys are subscribed and stay tuned with your notifications turned on. And even if you're turned on the notifications, make sure you guys set the notification settings to all, because if you don't do that, the Bro Guys YouTube platform, they just don't send you guys the notifications of my daily videos. So make sure you guys do it. And with that being said, lads, if you guys had gone and enjoyed this video, want to support me as a content creator, please go ahead and smack that big fat like. It would really help me out, support this content and also the channel. So your support is really appreciated. And a big thanks to every single one of you guys for 100,000 subscribers. And also we actually got verified on YouTube today, which is a great news. This is something I never really expected to get verified this soon. And I just applied for verification just a couple hours ago, and YouTube kind of just verified my account in just 30 minutes, which is just crazy. That is not something I expected. So for all of you guys who've been seeing spam comments basically having my logo or even the name of my channel down there, who are just trying to impersonate me and trying to scam all of my viewers, you guys can now know who is the original and who is not by simply just checking out the verified tick that is going to stay right next to my name. So this is something that would actually help you define from the real and the fake one. So this is of course a really cool stuff. So with that being said, lads, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Until then, take it easy, fams, and goodbye.